any way, I'm trying to find this again. Let's see. The calls were not in any way legitimate claim by the cop. Calling to report American terrorist. 13. Cop dispatcher conspiracy retaliation. 838 of Florida statutes. 14. I considered the cop boom car protection racketeering. 895 of the Florida statutes. 839-16 of Florida statutes. 15. I also looked into cop possibly aiding protecting American boom car terrorists under 876 of the Florida statute. 16. I also considered official misconduct charges, 838-22 felony charges. 17. I asked myself why cops didn't prevent the boom cars by confiscating and destroying all the subwoofer speakers, amps, crossovers, capacitors out of the stereo installation shops, which was done for the spice that was sold in head shops. The meth-making ingredients, they are now kept behind the counter, and it is my duty, not option, under 6005 of the Florida statutes and 932 contraband, to put up signs warning all cars that will be permanently taken away under criminal instrumentalities 932 contraband at all traffic major intersections, and then put it in driver's manuals, along with 316-30-45 of the Florida statutes, eliminates the noise to only 25 feet. Why it wasn't being strictly enforced. 18. I took an oath to protect the Florida Constitution. Article 2, Section 7 of the Constitution demands that there will be no excessive noise. 19. I wonder why it is cops can hear the quietest rustle of a homeless person in the weeds drinking a beer, but they can't hear a boom car that can be heard and felt hundreds of feet away. 20. I pride myself of passing the Florida bar to truly make society better, to fight for the poor, the oppressed, not to be an executioner for the cops. Let me hear me out, please. 21. I looked into 3015 of the Florida statute, which demands the arrest of boom cars by the Sheriff's Department and the cops, what wasn't being done. 21. I looked to see if the cops were using boom car loud home stereos as cop entrapment devices. Florida statute 777, 201 of the Florida statutes to enrage innocent people. 22. I considered cop entrapment and cop criminal protection racketeering as one and the same. 23. I considered about emergency vehicles not being heard by boom car punks, especially when they have to go at high rate of speeds and are heavier than your average emergency vehicle. 806.10 of the Florida statutes. I considered Article 1, Section 2 of the Florida Constitution guaranteeing home occupier the right to defend their home against attack of the low-frequency concussion speakers, lots of times facing outwards where the driver can't even hear them, known as trunk thumpers. 24. I wondered if the cops are on the road 24 hours a day, what's their excuse for not getting every one of them off the road? A cop protection racket under 878, 875, United States Code Title 18, 241-242, which is $10,000 fine and 10 years in prison. I wondered why Tina Alliston of Oak Avenue and 8th Street, Oak Avenue and 8th Street, Panama, it was in the Panama City News Herald, could call the cops 4 years and never be arrested, but the accused only 2 months gets charged. 25. I considered if the cops is dirty enough to retaliate against the innocent home occupier, he went on his back of his cop's oath of induction, making him a liar. I wondered, could he also be a thief and a rapist? And what other dirty things has he done has not been caught for? Mark Baumia murdered Anna Beach here in Parker, Florida. 24. I consider how much damage one dirty cop can do to the many cops who are out to clean up the society's road trash of criminals. 25. I wondered how dispatchers could recognize a cuss word if they never used them in the first place. Let me see. let's see. Let's see. I wondered if I'm trying to find it here. Oh yeah, 25. I wonder how could they recognize a cuss word if they had not used them. That very few people would even know about. There's something called a saw setting tool that the average person wouldn't know about. I wondered why only one phone call wasn't good enough to get rid of the boom cars. 27. I wondered how many other people called. How many felt hopeless? 27. I wondered if Florida has only one tag on the back and no on the front tag, and the cars are facing towards me on 15th Street. How could I possibly write down the tag? Lots of times the numbers are made smaller by novelty state tags. Why couldn't the cops go on general cop description, yet that was okay for when the Bay County Sheriff's Department was concerned about a yellow Camaro that was doing crimes in a bank. They were concerned about that, but they weren't concerned about this case right here. Now, let's go on further down here. So they went on the general body description of that. 28, I consider that the cops are creating crimes on innocent people. Maybe they are way overstaffed, and their actions prove that they aren't needed and should be immediately fired and the money handed over to the Bay County Library. 29, I consider how often do cops put false charges on innocent people, whistleblowers. That's like where they charged me as I was the assaulter of Danny Casimir Pipus, who pulled a knife out on me, and I got pictures of it, and I got pictures of cops protecting him. Troy Sheremick was a cop, and Coretta Lutuni was the two cops on that. 30. I recorded all the cops, dispatchers, investigators, interviews, gave them a very severe warning. If I found out they lied by contradictory statement, verbally, or any other investigative report, or you did this out of retaliation, I, the prosecutor, will charge you with perjury, 837 Florida statutes, corruption 838. You will also be prosecuted under United States Code 18241, 242, but not limited to the above, because it's in the cops manual. And I will declare Jimbikeman as a true victim of the worst kind, not just your average street thug criminal, but the worst kind of dirty cop. I will also consider how many other people you have terrified and who is too scared to stand up to stand up to you. I will also be contacting the Federal Bureau of Investigation, United States Justice Department, Homeland Security, on what was your motive to want to protect American boom car terrorists over someone only trying to live in their home in peace, as I would want done for me. 32. I will also find out if the $70 claim fee was something that went into your pocket and the breakdown of it. 33. I also wonder why you have no mercy on homeless, broke-down person either sleeping quietly in the woods or quietly drinking their beer, but you give a pass to much richer American enemy boom car terrorists that have the ability to torment easily 10,000 people one day. And if that minimum fine under 316-3045, you could have had plenty of money for the police department. 34, I, the prosecuting attorney, her name, I think it's Brittany Foster, Florida bar number, swear on the above crimes, my bar oath, I addressed all numbered subjects 1 through 34. I checked to see who was the real crime victim. Now, you tell me I'm not competent?
No, you're not.
So what you're saying is the truth is not competent to be able to,
You're not competent.
What? What?
Under court procedure, you're not competent.
Well, let's put it this way. Let me ask you something. So what you're saying is, in the courts, nobody just can't tell the simple truth, right?
Well, yeah, but the truth is that a motion to dismiss could get your...
No, it's not. No, it's not. I want to drag that motherfucker cop in the court, man. I'm hoping as many days as I've been losing in sleep, that motherfucker's losing. So in other words, what you're saying, Kevin, is It's not about the truth, is it? It's about manipulation. It's about traps. It's not about the truth, right? The court system is not about the truth. Gideon versus...
It is about the truth, but it's about proper court procedure. And Jim, you're not competent to represent yourself, period.
Gideon versus Wainwright.
That's good. Yeah, that's why you should have a public...
Oh, no, wait a minute. Fuck them public pretenders. I had Matt Meredith screw me when I could have... I spent 6 months in the Bay County Jail in 2011, and that motherfucker figured out a way to get me out there. Do you know how many people that wanted to go out to Chattahoochee instead of going to prison? Do you know what it's called? Malingering, Kevin Wood. Okay?
Yeah, we've talked about that.
And it's a 5-year prison sentence if you do malinger. Okay? I'm not malingering. I'm trying to tell the truth.
I understand that, but...
Now, if the FBI agent is really concerned, he'll come to my door. Let's put it this way. I want a meeting with him. I want a meeting in a neutral place. There's a Burger King right down the street from where I'm at. We'll sit in there.
Federal authorities cannot intervene in a pending criminal case.
They're lying, too. They're lying. They're motherfucking liars.
Then you're calling me a liar, too, because I spent 30 years researching this, Jim.
Oh, no disrespect, Kevin. Dred Scott at one time, okay, if a person wanted to declare themselves as a person, at one time before this Dred Scott case, well, let's talk about Rosa Parks. At one time it was against the law to sit in the front of the bus. At one time it was against the law. I remember them days of when if a certain people of certain color wanted to go into a restaurant, they would tell them, no, you'll have to go outside.
Gary Beck won his case before Judge Van. You are ideally situated to win your case, but only through a motion to dismiss.
No, there ain't gonna be no motion to dismiss. There ain't gonna be none. I gotta live with myself.